Welcome back for episode 5 of the Skateboard Ranch. As you can see behind me, shit's getting real. I got my truck reserved for 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. It's currently almost 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm trying to push and edit that episode 5 as fast as I can, and if everything goes according to plan, you guys should be able to watch it tomorrow while I'm moving permanently to Naminang. So I'm not gonna waste any time, and let's just jump right into it. As you may remember from the last episode, we left the cabin sitting precariously on the remains of the makeshift log sled that Andre had built. So the first thing to do was to lift the cabin to try and get those logs out of the way.
Hey, loose.
For that second log though, a little more power was in order. Now that the logs were out of the way, the next thing on the list was to reinstall one of the support 6x6 that we ripped from underneath the cabin when we pulled it out of the trailer. I have been somewhat critical of the way Andre handled the whole transportation of the shack, so it was now my chance to prove that there was a better way to do things. First of all, we needed some solid anchor points to be able to pull on the shack without ripping everything apart. So I went out and got 2 solid steel brackets to make sure that the 6x6 would stay in place when I would lift and pull on the cabin. The second part of the plan was to set some 2x4s down so that I could easily drag the back end of the shack. It was now time to bring out the real horsepower and see if my plan would actually work. Now that I knew that the plan was working, the next morning I set out with the goal of finishing up the setup and hopefully spend our first night in our new cabin. Only about 30 feet left to go. We just have to repeat the same steps over and over again. Now that the cabin had finally reached her resting spot, it was time to level it up. At first I thought it was going to be a piece of cake to do it with the farm jack, but I ended up snapping the handle. The Canadian Tire ended up giving me a new one, but I really wanted to finish the job, so I got the bottle jack out. The process was a little more tedious, but it worked fine in the end. After fiddling around for a little while, I've reached a result that I would deem acceptable. Well, it's not perfect, but I'll take it. And now it's time for the easier stuff. When I said that the shack was full equipped, I wasn't kidding. The fireplace is better than the one I got in the house. All the equipment that came with the cabin is in perfect condition. Basically, we just had to figure out how to put it back together. The whole fireplace and chimney assembly was pretty much straightforward, but when came the time to hook up the battery to the solar panel system, I double checked online to be sure that I wasn't doing anything wrong, and realized at the same time that I have a pretty good setup in there. We won't run out of power anytime soon. The final touch was to hook up a propane tank. So we now have our off-the-grid cabin with electricity, fireplace, and gas cooktop and little oven. After all the work and effort involved in getting the shack where it is now, we were finally going to be able to relax, enjoy the cabin, and have a good night's sleep. What the fuck was that? Like, seriously. Holy fuck. Genre de chat sauvage dehors. That whole screaming session lasted for about 10-15 minutes. The screams were far at first and then closer and closer, until they faded out in the distance. I still have no clue what the hell that was screaming like that. But I would upload the whole audio on YouTube, and I'm pretty sure the internet's gonna have a few answers for us. It's always reassuring when you get spooked at night to realize the next morning that there's nothing to be afraid of. But in this case, day or night, those screams were creepy as hell. Until we know more, we're not gonna let a few sounds in the night scare us away. We never know, maybe it's just a couple of fox or some raccoons. I hope so. So that's all for today's episode, and this was officially the last episode shot in my apartment in Montreal. So I'll take a few seconds to show you my little DIY studio. Wow. Oh, it's still there? So again, thanks for watching. If you like what you've seen, like the video, subscribe, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and we'll see you soon in Naminang. Ok, on va définitivement aller faire le cours de gun.